Hello everyone and welcome back to Prestige Reef. It has been 2 weeks since you've had an update on the Waterbox tank, which is much more than you're used to. And I have something very exciting to announce. I have Diatoms. I'll explain later in the video why diatoms are a good thing for this tank. The other thing I'll show you is Sam is here, aka Work Experience Reefer on Instagram. So he can give you an update on the Prestige Reef Work Experience. We've been doing loads of frags today, which is why I am so scruffy. Now, quite a few people who watch the live streams asked for videos or pictures of what you see on the Microscope as well. So I will also cover that later in the video, because although people might think that I just get Sam to do the fragging, there is actually quite a lot of education involved as well. So today I'm going to be teaching him how to identify diatoms and dinoflagellates. This is also a service which is now available to purchase under the consultation tab on the website, where you will be able to send your water to me and I will be able to identify exactly what you're dealing with. Are you dealing with diatoms, dinoflagellates, cyano, euglena? It essentially stops you having to buy your own microscope, which you're probably going to use once, whereas I use mine pretty frequently. If that's of interest for you, then go onto the website and we'll arrange to get that sorted. First things first though, let's go check in with Sam. Right now, as you can see, Sam is hard at work. As usual, he does not realise I'm about to put a camera on him, but he did so well last time that I thought I would just throw him in the deep end. So, do you want to let everyone know what you have been doing today?
So, today, we've been fragging a load of alveoporas. Yeah, as you can see, all of the ones there have been done.
How many frags have you done?
So, I think it's about 115 now.
115. So we've got those ones, these ones. Now, these were originally all here in this mass. They fill up the entirety of this frag rack, and now we have moved them over, and then you're just sort of just doing the last ones right now. What was your first thoughts of fragging the alveopora?
To be honest, I was pretty disgusted because it's an awful process. I wasn't sure if any of them would survive, but they're doing all right at the moment anyway. When
it comes to fragging alveopora, it is quite, or it appears to be quite a brutal process, because obviously all of the polyps close up and you're literally, there is no, it's not like with some of the Fabias and things like that and Goniastras where you're cutting down a skeleton. You're cutting straight through polyps. And they also, the other thing is they produce a tremendous amount of slime. So when you first do it, and I remember my first time fragging them, you think none of these are going to survive, but trust me, I have faith. I know that they'll be completely fine. Those will be on the website soon, but one of the main reasons that we're doing so many frags is because of, which I mentioned before, is because we're obviously attending Aqua. Sam is going to be on the stand with me, helping out, yeah, so you get to meet Sam too. Because obviously it's in September, we need to start now to prepare all of the frags. I'll give you a quick walk around, because I showed you in the last video what the condition of the farm was, and we were trying to get everything tidy, and believe me, there has been a massive difference. Right now, this is what I mean by a massive difference. We've sorted out all of the Sophastras, all of the Montipora, all of the Pavona, and the Montipora extends all the way over here. Obviously, the frags are in various sizes, because some of them are for sale now, and some of them are obviously ready to grow out for the show in September. All of these have now been fragged, so these are all single heads. Some people were getting like 2 or 3 heads when they were buying these, because I'll be honest with you, if someone orders a single head of something and I don't have a single head of it, I just send 2 or 3 heads. It just means there's a happier customer. These Gonies are going to be fragged soon. Those are really, really nice. This is one of the biggest differences, because this was originally a massive colony of mean streak Montipora, which you can see has been sort of divided up. Now obviously there's a lot less of it, because I asked Sam to specifically get frags which had more purple in it than red. Purple is the recessive colour. So there's always lots of red around. The ones with good purple are hard to get hold of. And then obviously we have Crazy T, which obviously got one last bit to frag up, and Kung Pao Montipora. This is the vampire tang that was famous from one of my previous videos where it jumped out. This top tray is slightly different to the bottom tray, whereas I don't think I'm ever going to get it under control, but I also don't mind the fact that I can't get it under control. It's nice to have big colonies, especially when people come to visit the farm to collect corals, which obviously everyone is welcome. You're more than welcome to come visit if ever you want. You just send me a message just to book the visit. Now for me, the show isn't all about bringing like the nicest, fanciest pieces of coral. I will be bringing coral for everyone. So I'll be bringing obviously high-end things, but I'll also be bringing just some normal Pasillipora. Like for example, this one is really, really nice. I don't think this one's actually on the website. This is a blue and green one. I've also got a pink one here, or it's more purple under the bluer light, but under white lights it's actually really quite pink. Sometimes the reason the corals aren't on the website is because I've not been able to get a good picture of them yet. So if you ever see anything, especially if it's a large colony, and it's something you want I can frag easily, just send me a message. I'll see what I can do for you. Now obviously we've not worked a huge amount on this tray, only a few obviously frags which are over there. But as I said, I'll be bringing pieces of all of these. Here's some of the bright red chalice which Sam fragged last week. I'll be bringing a whole range of different Leptoceras. I will have a few acros there, not many. These are a couple of like green Milliporas. Bought these recently, so I've got one red and one bright green Goniopora. The camera doesn't pick up just how bright green this is. I got these specifically for the show, so I'll be getting plenty of frags out of this. I've got a couple of nice bubble corals in at the moment. These green cabbage corals. These are some of the brightest green cabbage corals I've seen. We're bringing probably some frags of these to the show. Some of these burning banana stylos will be coming. The bounce mushrooms, interestingly, have now sort of healed completely, and they've rejoined with each other. So if you look, the pink around the edge, originally, remember this was a quarter before, it's now pretty much completely healed all the way around. So that's the great thing about bounce mushrooms. Although it looks horrific when you frag them, they're pretty hardy. Zoas are something at the moment which I am making a specific effort with regards to both frag my existing ones and also to increase my collection, just to make sure. So these ones will be getting the chops soon. These are some of the ones I actually picked up from Love to Reef. You can see I think I only had one polyp on it. This I think it's a blueberry pie, and now it's got 3 or 4. These Leptaceae will be coming. These Cephastria will be coming. These Alveopora were the ones that I fragged earlier. So this was when I showed Sam what to do, and you can see how these ones are fully open. And then if we look up here, these are the ones that Sam did earlier. So you can see the difference between the master and the apprentice. But bit by bit, they are slowly opening up. Now some of them look a little bit white. Now the reason they were white is because they were actually being shaded out by themselves. They'd grown so much that the bottom of them was essentially not getting enough light and then sort of dying off. In regards to this rock tray, I've just remembered, is this originally had an absolutely massive piece of Hollywood Stunner, which is now, that is all that's left that's remaining. But it was taking up too much room and I wanted to replace it with something that was far more desirable. These Lobophilias, the camera is not picking up just how nice this Lobophilia is. This is actually one of the pieces where I think to myself, I would almost certainly put this in the water box if it wasn't for the angelfish. At the moment, there obviously is a majestic angel in there that would definitely eat this. However, I've actually made arrangements for her to be sold because I think the king eye will be fine, but she definitely isn't. I've got a couple of other nice gonies which are going to be chopped next because I think these will do well. Obviously I'll be bringing plenty of different types of Euphilia. And actually, interestingly, there is one, a little experiment. Every so often I'll do an experiment with regards to fragging, just to see what will happen. Now, the biggest problem with toadstools is they don't stick down to rocks very well. So what I've done is I have got a toadstool which is already stuck to a rock and divided it in 4, leaving a piece of rock on each one. And then hopefully, in theory, it should heal up and turn round. Just to see, you can see I've got 4 of them. So they look pretty ugly at the moment, but if this experiment works, it'll make my toadstool cutting much easier going forwards. So that's pretty much it to show you. Obviously I'm going to have plenty of more common pieces as well, such as these chalices. This is some Funny Farm Leptoceras, which is interesting. And also one of the pieces that I will definitely be fragging and bringing, because this is always a popular seller, is my favourite blue and green war coral. Let me know in the comment section below what you want me to bring. Now, I have no doubt for some people this will end up being a penis measuring contest. where they want to bring the nicest, fanciest, coolest corals. But I can assure you, I am there for one reason and one reason only. I plan to sell as much coral as I can. So if you want me to bring Xenia, put in the comment section, bring Xenia, and I'll bring Xenia. Because I'm only really interested in bringing what people want. And I know that not everyone, in fact, not just not everyone, I know that the majority of people don't want the really, really high-end stuff. Yeah, let me know and I'll create a list and I'll bring it. While on the topic of high-end stuff though, do you remember I showed you this in one of the previous videos and it hadn't quite coloured up yet? This is that 3 coloured fungia, which, as I said, I'm planning to bring to the show. It's getting brighter and brighter every day. Right, now giving you an update on all the corals that are in the farm. Sam and I are going to go back into the house and I am going to show him how to use the microscope. We're going to identify that they are 100% diatoms in the tank and not dinoflagellates coming back. So, the reason we're laughing is because Sam just went take 1 after I made a mistake. He puts pressure on me. I'm actually going red now. He puts pressure on me. Right, now, what I was going to say, yeah? Take 2. Go on, say take 2.
Take 2.
Take 2, okay, right. What was I going to say?
Diatoms. Identify.
Diatoms, okay. Right. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you how to take your sample for the microscope, because how you take it makes a massive difference with regards to what you actually get in your sample. Right, so the first thing you need to do is get a little pot like this, and then you will put the pot in, and what you want to do is try to get only the top layer of sand. So you see where the brown, or like all the brown stuff is, which, as I said, at the moment we're assuming diatoms. I'll tell you a little secret, I've already tested it, so I know it's diatoms. But this, it doesn't matter if it's diatoms or dinoflagellates, they all look the same pretty much. And you just want to take a little scoop of just the top surface. Now interestingly, when you actually look at the sample, it's all white, but trust me, they're in there. And I'll show you how to get them to come out in a second. Right, once you have your sample, what you want to do is you want to stir it up, because what will happen is the sand is heavier than everything else. So the sand will fall to the bottom, and then anything that's on the sand will become like this murkiness on top. And once you've let it settle, you can then take a pipette and take some of the brown out and put it under a microscope slide. So what can you see?
There's a few, it looks like grains of rice in there.
That's correct, that's what diatoms look like. Is there anything else you can see?
There's something at the bottom of the slide.
You can move the slide here. You can move it at the bottom if you want to, if there's something you want to look at. And you can actually zoom in as well, one further.
I don't know what it looks like. It almost looks like a tiny crab, something like that.
I think it'll be a very small crab. Let me have a look. This is riveting for the people on the camera, isn't it? Don't you worry, I'll show you what we can see. Right, now this is diatoms, and this is what we can see under the microscope. Now at the start of the video, I said that diatoms are a good thing. Now that isn't always the case, but the reason they're a good thing for me is because this tank suffered with something called dinoflagellates. Now although it's anecdotal, diatoms are known to outcompete dinoflagellates, preventing them from coming back, while also being much easier to deal with themselves, with most outbreaks dying off on their own once they've exhausted all the silicates. These are dinoflagellates, and it's impossible to tell which type you have without a microscope, which is where the new service comes in. Each type requires a different method for removal. Therefore, knowing the exact type that you have can save you a tremendous amount of time in the long run. Finally, I thought I'd show you this. Since having the microscope, I put literally everything under it, and this is what the snail eggs which get laid on your glass look like. Right, now that's the end of Prestige Reef's science lesson. As I said, I can now offer this as a service, so if anyone is struggling with an issue they're not sure of, obviously get in touch and we can go from there. So, right, that is it for today, guys. Have you got anything else you'd like to say, Sam?
No, we've had a good few days, I think. We've done lots and lots and lots of fragging.
Tell them to follow you on Instagram.
And follow me on Instagram at the Work Experience Reefer.
Okay, there you go. Right, as I said, that is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment below. Take 3. Have a good week, and I'll see you next time.